Today our reading is from Hebrews chapter 4, verses 1 through 13, and I want to talk with you about being ready to render an account. When Jill and I led our church trip to Spain this fall, when we came back, one of the things we have to do is we have to account for all of the money that was spent, and that involves receipts and credit card bills and all those things to show this is where all the money went. This is how it was all spent so that we can render an honest, true account, so there's no questions about that. And there's different areas in life where we have to be able to render an account. There's a reason why when you go grocery shopping, they give you a receipt and it shows this is what you got for what you paid. If you go to a big store like a BJ's, for example, sometimes they will have someone there at the door who wants to check your receipt and look at your cart to make sure that you're only taking with you that which you paid for, because they are making you render an account. Well, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13 says, "And before him no creature is hidden, but all are naked and laid bare to the eyes of the one to whom we must render an account." This is a picture of God's judgment, and it's telling us that God is going to want to see our receipts, if you will. We're going to have to render an account for what we've said, what we've done throughout our life. Jesus tells us that we're going to have to give an account for every careless word we utter. That scares me to pieces. I'll be there a long time working through that. But the idea is to keep in mind that I need to be able to give an account to God of every day of my life, how I treated people, how I spoke, the priorities that were a part of my life, the choices I made, the decisions I've made, how I used my resources, my time, my energy. Do you ever think about the fact that you're going to have to give an account to God for your life? This is something that we read about in numerous places in the New Testament. And so I just want to encourage you to keep that in mind every day. There was a saying, I believe it was D.L. Moody, who said, "Always remember the end of your life, and then you will never sin." And part of what he was getting at is if we always remember that we're going to have to render an account to a faithful God for everything we've done and said in our whole life, hopefully that helps keep us on the way of Christ, on the straight and narrow path that leads to life.